Why do your hands tremble, chosen one? Is it the Spirit within you, already sensing the immensity of this moment? Know this, friend, it is no accident that your eyes have found this message. This is a moment ordained by heaven itself. The Lord, in His infinite wisdom, has guided you here, to this very second, for a purpose that transcends your current understanding. This is a divine appointment, a crossroads etched in the stars. Archangel Michael speaks with an urgency that echoes through the celestial realms. Halt! Listen closely. For you stand at a precipice, a moment where you will either step boldly into the miracle prepared for you, or unknowingly walk away from it, perhaps forever altering the course of your destiny. Heaven does not trifle with your emotions, dear one. No, it is here to extend a lifeline to your weary heart, a heart that has bravely weathered countless storms and struggles. This is not a fleeting moment to be idly scrolled past. This is a monumental intersection, a point where eternity itself pauses to inscribe the next chapter of your life story. Turn away now, and the promise of a miracle will begin to fade, like a star swallowed by the dawn. But choose to stay, to listen, to believe, and the very gates of glory will begin to swing open, beckoning you toward a future overflowing with divine favor. Beloved, you are not merely staring at a screen. You are standing at the threshold of transformation. Have you felt the weight in your chest, the burden of sleepless nights, the silent tears that have soaked your pillow, the aching question that has haunted your soul? God, have you forgotten me? Hear this truth resound in your spirit. The Lord has not forgotten you. Indeed, He has dispatched this message as a final, divine alarm, a last call before your breakthrough either manifests or is tragically lost. This is not a threat meant to instill fear, but a loving awakening, a gentle nudge meant to stir you from settling for a life far less than the abundant one He has lovingly planned for you. Every sigh, every hidden breakdown, every tear shed in secret, all were noticed, cherished, and held within His compassionate hands. Archangel Michael proclaims, "You stand at the very edge of your destiny. One misstep, and the blessing slips away. One courageous step forward, and heaven will flood you with the very answers you have been praying for." This is not about achieving some impossible standard of perfection. It is about your willingness to believe, to trust, to surrender. This is not the chilling grip of fear, but the burning fire of holy urgency. For at this very moment, every breath you draw is pulling you either closer to the heart of God or further from the promise He longs to place within your grasp. The one who calls you is tender and kind, His voice imbued with a love that surpasses all understanding. And even when His words feel like fire in your bones, do not be deceived. This is not a trivial matter of fleeting consequence. This is eternal, a moment where everything can shift, transform, and align with the divine will. Time itself, as it exists in heaven, has intersected with your earthly timeline. And what you choose to do with these precious moments will reverberate far beyond this day, echoing throughout eternity. Now, as you prepare to step into this divine role, I invite you to declare your readiness. Affirm your willingness to surrender to the divine plan by typing Amen in the comments below. Let it be a bold declaration that you are ready to walk in your God-given purpose, to embrace the destiny that awaits you. Know that you are not typing to impress some algorithm or to gain favor with a channel. You are answering the call of the God who has been quietly, relentlessly pursuing your heart for years. And stay with me, beloved, until the end. For we will conclude with a prayer, a powerful invocation that could unlock the very thing you have been waiting for your entire life. These next few seconds hold the potential to change everything. Do not scroll away. Step into the fullness of this moment. Treat these seconds not as a threat, but as a gift of immeasurable mercy, another chance to say yes to the divine will. You have been imploring heaven for answers, for days, for weeks, for years. When, Lord, when will the breakthrough come? When will these tears finally dry up? When will heaven answer my desperate pleas? And for so long heaven whispered, "Wait, beloved, not yet, be patient." But now, at this very moment, the atmosphere has shifted. Something sacred is stirring within you. The wait is over. The appointed time has arrived. The weight pressing upon your chest, the strange stillness that has settled in the room, the deep knowing that something invisible, yet immensely powerful, is taking place. These are not random occurrences. Heaven has been meticulously preparing this moment just for you. The pain you have carried was not meant to punish you, but to prepare you, to forge within you a strength that only fire can create. The miracle that bears your name was not denied, but refined, carefully shaped and molded until the perfect moment of release. The Lord was not withholding it out of cruelty, but out of fierce, unwavering love. For what He is about to release into your life requires a resilience, a fortitude that only the crucible of experience can forge. Now, hear this with every fiber of your being. Archangel Michael stands at your side, and in his hand, he holds a scroll, glowing with the very fire of God. Yet it does not burn. Heaven is now revealing what has been hidden for years. Your healing, your freedom, your divine release. Everything that once challenged you, everything that once threatened to consume you, is now being woven into a triumphant plan for victory. But here is a profound truth that few will truly grasp. He cannot place the scroll into your hands until you say yes. And that yes is not merely a word spoken with your mouth. It is spoken through unwavering focus, through complete surrender, through a resolute decision not to turn away, not to scroll, not to allow your eyes to wander simply because the world around you is noisy and demanding. Right now, your very act of staying, of listening, of bearing witness to this moment is being counted as faith in the courts of heaven. And faith, beloved, is the very currency that moves the hand of God. This is a divine encounter. This is a sacred interruption. This is a divine intersection between your pain and His purpose. This is holy ground, consecrated by the presence of the Almighty. Let me be unequivocally clear. You were on the precipice of losing your alignment with Him. Not because you were too broken, not because you had sinned beyond redemption, but because you had ceased to listen. The clamor of the world had grown too loud, drowning out His gentle whisper. And now, heaven is waging a relentless battle to reach you, pleading with you to return to the path where blessings flow freely, the path where the breakthrough you seek awaits, the path that leads to life abundant and eternal. Archangel Michael's voice is imbued with urgency. Halt! If you turn away now, you will miss the alignment. You will miss the outpouring of divine favor. You will lose the path that was lovingly carved for you in light. And yes, you feel it, don't you? Your spirit is recognizing the truth even before your mind can fully grasp it. That pressure you feel, that sensation that feels like fear mingled with something far deeper, something that transcends mere anxiety. That is your spirit awakening. That is your soul recognizing the voice it has been aching to hear for so long. You stand at a divine turning point. To your left lies the familiar path, the well-worn road of delay, where prayers seem to go unanswered, where nights are silent and long, where hope flickers dimly, and doubts shout louder than faith. To your right lies the narrow road, the path of release, where chains break, where waiting transforms into fulfillment, where tears are turned to uncontainable joy, and what was once deemed impossible becomes a living, breathing testimony to the power of God. And in this precise second, God says, choose. He will not drag you, He will never force you. He is a God of free will. But yes, hear this truth resonate in your soul. He calls you back with urgency, with a love that knows no bounds. The same God who spoke the stars into existence stoops low now to whisper, please listen now, for this message was not crafted for everyone. This is not a viral clip sent to millions at random. This was heaven-sealed, personally delivered for you, because you cried out on nights when no one saw, because your soul whispered prayers that even your mouth did not speak, because your faith held on, even when you were silently breaking. That is why you are here now, not by accident, not by luck, but by divine design. And now you carry a responsibility that many will never receive. This is sacred. This is deeply personal. This is weighty glory being placed within your hands. Archangel Michael has been waiting, pacing the heavens, pressing against the constraints of time, guarding the message your soul has been desperate to receive. And now he cries out, now! So do not minimize this moment. Every time you cease to listen, every time you allow yourself to be distracted, the enemy celebrates, for distraction is his most potent weapon. But every heartbeat of attention, every moment of unwavering focus unlocks something sacred, and heaven moves. That is the unparalleled power of a divine word spoken in its appointed hour. And this, my friend, is your hour. You might ask, but why now, Lord? Why not when I was crying on the bathroom floor? Why not when my heart shattered last year? And here is the answer, spoken straight from the throne of grace. Because diamonds are not forged in shallow fires. What I am about to pour into your life requires more than comfort. It requires the shaping, the testing, the refining silence, not to break you, but to build you into someone who can carry the weight of my glory. The delay was not denial. It was design. Those closed doors, refinement. Those unanswered prayers, preparation. Those nights you thought he was absent, he was carving your name deeper into his plan. Heaven was not late. Heaven was aligning. And now it is here. This message, this moment is a hinge point in your story. What you choose to do next will determine whether the scroll is handed into your eager hands or remains sealed for another season. So hear it again with holy trembling. Please, chosen one, stay. Listen. Decide. For the God who could send legions of angels with a single word has chosen instead to speak softly through this screen, directly to you. And that, my friend, signifies one thing above all else. He still believes in you. The time is now. The gate is open. Will you step through? Can you feel it? Your chest burns with a knowing that is too deep for words. That strange stirring in your spirit. This is not fear. It is a holy signal, a divine communication. It is heaven leaning in, drawing near. It is time itself bending to deliver what was held back for so long. For years, you have waited, prayed, cried, questioned, and implored. When, Lord, when will things shift? When will this pain lift? And now, finally, heaven answers, not with further delay, not with deafening silence, but with an urgency that cannot be ignored. The fire has completed its work. The testing has fulfilled its divine assignment. You are no longer merely being prepared. You are ready. That is why Archangel Michael extends his sword in silence now. Not warning, not whispering, but commanding. Commanding you to listen, to stay, to recognize that your destiny is not a decade away. It is seconds away. Yes, mere seconds. That is how thin the veil is right now between your current reality and your long-awaited breakthrough. And yet, this moment is fragile, sacred, imbued with the weight of eternity. A single moment of distraction, a single thought of doubt, and the portal will begin to close. Heaven is generous beyond measure, but heaven also honors your free will. That is why God will not force this open for you. He invites, he waits patiently, but he will not override your choice. That is why I must speak to you plainly. You have only a breath's length to choose, not 10 hours, not 10 days, but 10 seconds. And the countdown has already begun. Every breath you take is marking eternity's clock. There is a holy awareness stirring within you, that tingling in your skin. It is your spirit discerning that this time is holy. The realm of heaven is brushing against yours. And if you say yes fully, freely, faithfully, your life will never, ever look the same. Beloved, allow me to take you into the vision that is unfolding before my eyes. I see a great table in heaven, long and shining like fire-washed gold, and upon it are countless scrolls, radiant with light, each one sealed with a name written in golden ink. These are not merely documents. They are divine blueprints, your purpose, your healing, your divine assignment. And among them all is one scroll, glowing brighter than the rest, pulsating with celestial energy. Your name is upon it. It has waited for years, guarded by Archangel Michael himself, because the enemy has sought to snatch it away, to extinguish the light it holds. Yes, hell has coveted your scroll. Hell has tried to convince heaven that you are not worthy, that you are not strong enough to bear the weight of the blessings it contains. But God has declared, not yet. They are still becoming, but their time is coming. And Michael waited, he battled, He shielded what was rightfully yours until this very moment. Now the divine blueprint, once guarded by Michael, hovers near your spirit, close, near, present, almost within your grasp. But he cannot force it open. Only you can unlock its power. And if you delay, if you hesitate, the moment will seal again, perhaps for another year, perhaps forever. That is why heaven shouts, "Stop! Don't you dare miss this." I know what your mind is whispering. This is just another message, another emotional manipulation, another empty promise. But ask your spirit, why does your chest feel electric? Why does it feel like something ancient is being stirred awake inside of you? Because it is. This is not just emotion. It is revelation. This is what your soul has cried out for in the darkest nights. When you sobbed into your pillow, when you clenched your fists and asked, "God, where are you?" He was listening. He never left. The silence was not rejection, but orchestration. Heaven was echoing your cries, storing them up, preparing to answer not just with comfort, but with power. You may have believed that nothing was happening, but the truth is this. Behind the veil, a war has been raging on your behalf. Angels have stood guard around you while darkness has tried to consume you. Archangel Michael has deflected every scheme sent to silence you, to derail your destiny. And when you had no strength left, it wasn't your own will that kept you going. It was the unwavering hand of God holding you by a thread. He whispered, "Not yet. Hold on. The day is coming. And beloved, today is that day." What is written inside that scroll isn't just a generic blessing. It is transformation. It is the unlocking of every delay that has held you back, the healing of every wound that has bled in silence, the restoration of every shattered piece the enemy has tried to bury. This is not just about changing your circumstances. It is about changing you from the inside out. But here is the warning I must impart. The enemy's greatest tactic is not to destroy. It is to delay, to wear you down, to make you believe that your breakthrough will never come. He whispers, "Later, maybe tomorrow, this can wait," until later becomes never. Do not fall for it. Archangel Michael's command is clear, "Listen now," because when heaven aligns with such precision, such urgency, such divine symmetry, if you miss it, the alignment breaks. That is why this message feels like thunder in your chest. That is why it feels like a second heartbeat pounding through your body. Because if you honor this moment, if you hold steady and open yourself fully, the gates of glory will swing wide open, welcoming you into the fullness of your destiny. But if you turn away, the gates will slam shut, perhaps forever. It is that simple and that terrifying. But the choice is yours and yours alone. Hear me now. God has not forgotten you. He has been fighting for you in silence, battling forces you cannot even imagine. Every tear, every disappointment, every closed door, it was not the end. It was merely the prelude. And now, the author of your story steps back into the narrative, pen in hand, ready to write what the enemy has tried to erase, to craft a masterpiece from the fragments of your broken heart. The Lord has not lost sight of you. He has gathered every broken piece, and he longs to hand them back to you, not as mere fragments, but as a testament to his unwavering love and power, if you will only let him. So I say it again. Stop. Let your soul remain present in this moment. Do not dismiss this as just another message vying for your attention. You are standing on holy ground right now. Heaven has paused its infinite movements to focus on one thing. You. That stillness you feel, that heaviness in the air, that is not your imagination running wild. That is the tangible weight of God's glory settling near you. Archangel Michael extends his sword in silence, a sword taller than the mountains themselves. His sword of light is plunged into the ground beside you. He is shielding you from distraction, commanding silence over the chaos that threatens to overwhelm you. Angels are circling you now, their wings stretching wide, whispering prayers over your soul. And somewhere in the celestial light, your name is being spoken again and again, with reverence and anticipation. Because this is your moment. Heaven is not waiting any longer. Will you? Your soul shivers under the weight of the word, under the immense potential that is about to be unleashed. That tension in the air, that sensation that feels like lightning just beneath your skin. It is not anxiety. It is not imagination. It is not coincidence. It is the irrefutable evidence that heaven is brushing against your present moment. Right now, the unseen is roaring louder than what is seen. Right now, your name is being spoken in the halls of eternity. The enemy knows it. He is furious. He is trembling. And he is trying desperately to pull you away from these words, from this sacred encounter. Because if you stay, if you keep listening, the grip he has had on your life will shatter like glass, disintegrating into nothingness. That is how close you are to your breakthrough. That is how sacred this moment is. You are only seconds away from the breaking of chains that have held you captive for years, chains of shame, chains of scarcity, chains of silence. But only if you remain, only if you don't scroll, only if you don't click away, because heaven will never force your surrender. God does not manipulate. He invites, he pleads, he waits for your heartfelt yes. Think back, beloved. Think back to every time you poured out everything you had and were still left empty. Think of the times you felt invisible, unheard, left behind, forgotten. When you gave your all and received silence in return. That ache you carried in your soul, that deep longing for something more, it wasn't punishment. It wasn't abandonment. It was the echo of a higher calling, a destiny waiting to be fulfilled. That pain was the sound of God lifting your spirit above the ordinary, refusing to let you settle for less than what he had written for you before time began. You thought you were forgotten, but you weren't. You were hidden, protected, preserved. You thought you were rejected, but heaven was merely preserving you until the soil of time was ready to release the abundant harvest of promise that was always meant to be yours. And now Archangel Michael declares, the harvest is ready, the waiting is over. The release is here. This is not mere poetry. This is prophecy, unfolding before your very eyes. The very things you grieved as lost are now being resurrected. The time you thought was wasted is about to be gloriously redeemed. The tears you thought fell into nothingness are about to become the rain that waters your joy, nourishing the seeds of a future beyond your wildest dreams. But you must stay. You must remain anchored in this moment, because the enemy has always feared you, has always recognized the immense power that resides within you. That is why your life has been under siege. That is why heartbreak has found you so often. That is why betrayal has circled you like a predator, seeking to devour your hope. Because if you ever came into complete agreement with who you truly are in Christ, darkness would lose its claim on your bloodline, its power over your life. That is why he has whispered lies, insidious and persistent, like, you're forgotten, you're too late, you're just one of many. But heaven has never once believed it. And now Michael stands at your side, not with a whisper, but with a roar saying, you were never ordinary. You were always anointed. Every scar you bear is not a mark of shame. It is a testament to survival. It is irrefutable proof that the enemy tried, but ultimately failed. You are still standing, still breathing, still drawn to this moment because you are closer than you know. The promise you thought would take years to materialize is knocking now, impatiently waiting to be unleashed. The breakthrough you buried in the back of your mind, believing it to be unattainable, is actively forming, taking shape in the unseen realm. The relationship you assumed was beyond repair is stirring again, showing signs of renewed life and hope. Even the financial lack that seemed like a life sentence, a permanent condition, is beginning to loosen its grip. The chains are loosening, but the condition remains. Do not let go in these final, crucial seconds. This moment is weighty because it is real, because the potential for transformation is palpable, within your reach. Step back now, allow yourself to be distracted, and the sacred threshold will begin to fade into shadow, the opportunity lost, perhaps forever. Heaven says, tell them their miracle is closer than the next sunrise. Tell them their answer is nearer than the next breath. Pause with me, beloved. Look at your hands. They may feel empty, battered by life's storms, but in the spirit, they are glowing with open expectation, radiating an anticipation that is palpable. Heaven is pouring into them now, Golden oil that heals what the world could not touch, that restores what time could not fix, that anoints what the enemy tried to shut down, to silence forever. That warmth in your palms, that flutter in your chest, that is not a trick of emotion, a fleeting sensation. That is the veil thinning. That is the very oil of heaven dripping through into your now, saturating your spirit, preparing you for the destiny that awaits. Every cry you have released in private, every tear you have shed in secret, God has collected it, cherished it, and remembered it. And now heaven's bowls are tipping, overflowing with divine favor, poised to pour out upon you an abundance beyond measure. The time of remembrance has come, and the Lord will make good on all his promises. Still, I must speak plainly, with a boldness born of the Holy Spirit. The moment is slipping, like sand through eternity's hourglass. Each moment of delay narrows the gate, making it increasingly difficult to pass through. That is why you feel the urgency pressing upon your spirit, why your soul is restless, yearning for something more. Because this isn't simply about information, it is about profound, lasting transformation. Your life is being redefined in real time, and if you let this moment sink deep into the core of your being, you will walk differently, you will speak differently, you will no longer recognize the old version of yourself, because the weight that once held you captive will no longer be there. The chains will have been broken, the shackles shattered, and you will be free indeed. But if you dismiss this, if you shrug it off as just another message, if you allow the noise of the world to drown out the still, small voice of God, you may carry those chains far longer than you were ever meant to. The choice is here, it is now, and all of eternity holds its breath for you. And do not think for 1 second that you are walking through this alone. Even now, in the Spirit, I see those who have gone before you, the cloud of witnesses, your loved ones in heaven, leaning in, praying over you, whispering to your soul. Don't give up. Don't stop here. This is the moment we saw from afar. The veil is thin, beloved. Time in heaven has pierced the time on earth. You are standing where eternity kisses this very second. Heaven isn't whispering. It is roaring with a power that shakes the very foundations of hell. The skies above you are charged with divine light, crackling with celestial energy. Archangel Michael, with eyes that burn like holy flame, points straight at you and commands, "Stop running. Stop doubting. Stop delaying. Listen, this moment feels heavy for a reason. Because the eternal is colliding with the temporary. Because God is stepping into your timeline with fire in his breath and mercy in his hands, ready to rewrite the narrative of your life. You wonder why your heart is pounding, why your eyes can't look away, why the atmosphere feels charged with glory. It is because your spirit already knows what your mind is just starting to comprehend. This is your announcement. Heaven is announcing your shift, your release, your resurrection. What was buried is rising again. What was broken is being rebuilt, stronger than ever before. What was delayed is now in motion, propelled by the unstoppable force of divine will. And Michael, who has waited not just days, but generations, has been assigned to bring this word to you, to ensure that you do not miss the moment that will change everything. And still, I must remind you, with all the urgency I can muster, do not lose this moment. If you walk away now, you walk away from what heaven has fought to protect for years, from the destiny that has been lovingly prepared for you since the dawn of creation. Beloved, lift your eyes, for what is coming is greater than anything you are leaving behind. The glory that awaits you far outweighs the pain of the past. There is a book in heaven, ancient, mighty, radiant with a glory so fierce it blinds the gaze of darkness. It is not bound by leather or pages, but by eternity itself. It is the book of destiny, and within it are the names of the chosen, those marked by grace, those anointed by fire, those destined for greatness. Your name is written there, not in fading ink, but in eternal light, shimmering with celestial brilliance. And beneath your name are the details heaven has ordained. Your purpose, your breakthrough, your inheritance, all laid out with meticulous precision, waiting for the appointed time to be revealed. Angels move reverently through this book, turning its pages in time with the rhythm of your life, watching as each decision draws you closer or further from what was always meant to be yours. And today, heaven's eyes are fixed upon your page. I see it glowing, illuminated by the light of divine favor, marked by your tears, your prayers, your perseverance, your unwavering faith in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. For years it has remained sealed, the timing not yet ripe, the conditions not yet perfect. But now, Archangel Michael touches it with his sword, and the seal breaks with a sound like thunder, a celestial roar that echoes throughout the heavens. Fire leaps from the page, illuminating the cosmos with its divine light. The sealed assignment of light now unfolds like pages of living fire, revealing the secrets that have been hidden for so long. At last, the waiting breaks. At last, the silence ends. At last, your story continues, propelled by the power of God. That is why you cannot look away. Because something that was paused is now turning again. The clock of your destiny is ticking into motion, and the gears of heaven are aligning to bring forth your long-awaited breakthrough. But make no mistake, the enemy has always dreaded this moment. Every detour, every heartbreak, every betrayal, every storm you have walked through, it was not random. It was not mere coincidence. It was strategic, a calculated assault on your destiny. His strategy wasn't to destroy you in one swift blow, but to wear you down, to chip away at your resolve, to make you too tired to believe, too numb to notice, too distracted to receive the divine inheritance that awaits you. He wanted you scrolling past this, blind to what was holy, deaf to the voice of God calling you by name. But you didn't. You're still here, reading these words, allowing them to penetrate the depths of your soul. And that terrifies hell, because once you grasp what heaven is handing you now, once you fully embrace the power and authority that is rightfully yours, the chains he has used to wrap around your soul will disintegrate like ash in the wind, leaving you free to soar into the fullness of your destiny. So I say it again with a passion that burns like fire. Don't stop. Don't move. Your endurance in this very moment is not passive. It is prophetic. It is the final stretch before the promise unfolds, the last hurdle before you cross the finish line and claim the victory that has been secured for you by the blood of the Lamb. Picture it in your mind's eye. You stand at a gate, resplendent with glory, radiating with the light of 1,000 suns. Behind you lies the long road of suffering, the winding path of loss, the heart-wrenching experiences of betrayal, the crushing weight of disappointment. You have crawled through seasons that almost broke you, navigated valleys of despair that threatened to swallow you whole. You have survived storms that others didn't see, battles that raged in the unseen realm, leaving you weary and wounded, but ultimately triumphant. But before you, beckoning you forward, beloved, imagine a garden, unlike any crafted by mortal hands. It's a sanctuary painted with colors your soul has long forgotten, hues vibrant beyond earthly measure. Flowers you thought extinct bloom here with audacious joy, pushing through the forgotten corners of your heart. Streams, like liquid light, cascade through the parched landscapes of your past, bringing life and renewal where only dust remained. Joy, a symphony of unheard melodies, rises where silence once reigned supreme. And the gate to this paradise? It stands open, but only for a fleeting moment, a window in eternity. Michael, archangel of strength and protection, stands sentinel, his hand trembling not with fear, but with the divine urgency of the heavens themselves. He calls out, his voice a clarion, "Enter now! Do not delay. Cast aside your doubts. This is your gate, forged in the heart of God. But the choice, my friend, remains yours. Will you linger in the shadows of yesterday, forever chained to past hurts, your eyes fixed on fading pain? Or will you dare to step boldly into the destiny prepared for you before the dawn of time, a future woven with hope and promise? Let me speak plainly, with the very love of heaven coursing through each word. You have judged yourself with a severity far exceeding any judgment from the divine. You have whispered doubts into the silence. Perhaps I am unworthy. Perhaps I have missed my chance. Perhaps God has turned away from me. But I tell you now, heaven roars in opposition to these lies. The cross itself is the eternal answer to every doubt. As far as the east is from the west, so far has he removed your transgressions, erasing them from the ledger of eternity. Psalm 103 verse 12. Your mistakes, every stumble and fall were nailed to that ancient wood. Your guilt, that heavy shroud, was washed clean in the crimson tide. Your past was forgiven, completely and irrevocably, even before you knew how to ask for redemption. God is not here to condemn you, to point a finger of blame. He is here to restore you, to rebuild what was broken, to breathe life back into shattered dreams. That is why Michael's message is not one of judgment, but of liberation. His sword is not raised in punishment, but in the pursuit of your freedom. He is not pointing at your shame, but cutting through it, severing the cords that bind you. But understand this, beloved. This moment transcends your individual journey. Yes, it is profoundly personal, intimate as a heartbeat, but it is also profoundly generational, rippling through time itself. What God is pouring into your life now, this torrent of grace and power, is not solely for your healing, your comfort, your joy. It is for your family, your children, your lineage, those who came before and those who will follow after. The curses that sought to haunt your bloodline, the shadows that whispered in the night, they end here, at this very gate. Cycles of loss, addiction, poverty, betrayal, they are being shattered, broken apart like brittle glass. Michael's sword is severing not only your chains, but also those that quietly bind the ones who will come after you, the unseen fetters that hold them captive. That is why the urgency is so fierce, why the heavens vibrate with anticipation. Because if you turn away now, if you shrink back in fear, the cycle continues, its insidious grip tightening on future generations. But if you stay, if you listen with an open heart, if you believe in the boundless power of redemption, then the cycle ends. Your children's children will rise and bless your name, singing praises for the courageous yes you spoke in this sacred hour. And now, let me tear down one more lie, a persistent whisper from the enemy's arsenal. You are not late. It is not too late. You have not missed it. The doors have not closed. Heaven knows no expiration date for faith, no final curtain on grace. God declares, I redeem time. What you thought was lost, I restore. What was wasted, I return, made new and vibrant. Today is not merely a recovery, a picking up of scattered pieces. It is a resurrection, a rebirth of the soul. Dreams you abandoned as impossible are breathing again, fluttering with renewed life. Hope you buried deep within the earth is rising, pushing through the soil of despair. Promises you stopped expecting are walking towards you, radiant and undeniable. This is not random chance, not a fleeting moment of inspiration, not mere motivational fluff. This is the tangible manifestation of mercy, the outpouring of divine grace. Heaven is not simply whispering words of comfort. It is activating power, igniting the dormant flames within you. For too long, you have been deceived, tricked into believing you are powerless, that your prayers were weak and ineffectual, that your voice held no significance. But every prayer you have spoken, every whispered plea, was a seed, small but potent. And those seeds were not lost, not forgotten. They were planted in heavenly soil, nurtured by angels, watered by grace. And now, the rain is falling, a gentle, persistent downpour of blessing. Now, those seeds are breaking open, pushing through the darkness, reaching for the light. That strange fire you feel growing within you as you listen, that stirring in your soul. It is not simply emotion. It is awakening. You are being awakened, gently but powerfully, into the person you were always destined to be, the purpose etched into your very being. The oil of heaven is pouring forth once more, not for mere display, not for empty ritual, but for destiny, for the fulfillment of your divine calling. And as Michael's sword touches your name, etching it in the annals of eternity, heaven is announcing, with trumpets blazing. Now begins the chapter of your story you were born to live. You have survived the wilderness, weathered the storms. Now, step into the garden, breathe deep the fragrant air, and taste the sweetness of redemption. You have endured the fire, been refined in the crucible of suffering. Now receive the glory, the radiant crown of victory. But do not, I implore you, do not turn back now. You are standing in the thin place, the hallowed ground where heaven kisses earth, where the veil between worlds thins to gossamer. And the next step, the crossing of that threshold, is yours alone to take. You are not just waking up from a long slumber. You are awakening, fully and completely, to who you truly are. Not broken, not forgotten, not too late, but chosen, deliberately and irrevocably. And not chosen in theory, not chosen from a distance, but chosen in the heat of battle, chosen in the heart of the fire. Heaven has not been watching from afar, a detached observer. It has been guarding you, shielding you, fighting for you every step of the way. Archangel Michael's cry is not just about defending your blessing, protecting your future. It is a summons, a clarion call to remember the authority you carry, the power that resides within you. You have been living as if you are at the mercy of darkness, a helpless pawn in a cosmic game. But darkness has always trembled at the thought of you rising, of you embracing your true potential. And now you are rising not just in body, but in spirit, soaring above the limitations that once held you captive. I see what your life once looked like. Scattered ashes, remnants of dreams destroyed, pieces of yourself left behind in betrayal, closed doors, and disappointments too deep to name. You thought they were lost forever, swept away by the winds of despair. But here is the breathtaking mystery of the God you serve, the transformative power of His grace. He does not avoid ashes. He builds with them. He doesn't discard the broken. He uses them to create masterpieces. To all who mourn, He will give a crown of beauty for ashes, a joyous blessing instead of mourning, festive praise instead of despair. Isaiah 61 verse 3. The oil flows richest where the wounds ran deepest, where the scars tell tales of resilience and strength. The garments of praise shine brightest where despair once sat like a throne, casting its long shadow over your soul. And now, beloved, you are about to be clothed in that very garment, adorned with glory and grace. Michael holds it even now, draped across his arm, glowing with celestial light, ready to rest it upon your shoulders if you simply say yes. If you open your heart to receive. Can you feel it? The weight of despair lifting, the oppressive silence breaking, replaced by the murmur of hope. That is not imagination, not wishful thinking. That is heaven making room for glory, preparing the way for your transformation. And now, let me tell you something the enemy never wanted you to hear, a truth he desperately tried to conceal. You were never fighting alone. Not once. When you whispered, "No one understands," and felt utterly isolated. When you thought, "I am invisible, I cannot be seen," and felt lost in the shadows. Heaven was closer than your next breath, watching over you with unwavering love. Michael bent low in your darkest room, his presence a silent promise of protection. Angels wept when you wept, their tears mingling with yours in a symphony of empathy. The Holy One held every tear, cherishing each one, not letting a single drop fall in vain. You were not forgotten. You were being fought for, with a ferocity and tenderness that defies human comprehension. This very moment is proof of that unwavering devotion. If heaven had not intervened, if Michael had not drawn his sword on your behalf, you would not even be alive to hear this word, to feel this stirring in your soul. That realization should shake you to your core, should remind you how fiercely protected, how intentionally preserved, how deeply loved you truly are. Your survival is not just a sign of resilience. It is a declaration, a resounding proclamation that your purpose still burns bright in the eyes of God. But hear this carefully, beloved. The danger of this moment, the enemy's last-ditch effort, is distraction. He cannot stop what heaven has released, cannot extinguish the flame of destiny that burns within you. But he will try to stop you from receiving it, from embracing the fullness of your potential. He will whisper insidious lies in your ear. It's just words. You can always come back later. It's not that important. But Michael urges with unwavering authority, do not delay, do not doubt, do not dismiss this. The alignment is too precise, the moment too critical. Right now, heaven's court is open, and the verdict has been rendered in your favor. Right now, your miracle is hovering in the air, inches from your reach, waiting to be grasped. And later, that elusive promise is a lie, a carefully crafted trap by the enemy of your soul. Later is his favorite tool, the weapon he wields to steal your joy and delay your destiny. Now is salvation. Now is obedience. Now is breakthrough. That is why your focus right now is wholly set apart for the divine. That is why your decision to say yes, even just to keep listening, to remain open to the possibility of transformation, is a prophetic act, a declaration of faith that reverberates through the heavens. It is your spirit shouting, I believe, I receive, I will not miss what is mine. And heaven, in its boundless grace, is already moving in response to your faith, orchestrating a symphony of miracles on your behalf. Picture this: a courtroom in heaven, bathed in celestial light. The enemy, the accuser, stands pointing at your flaws, your failures, your forgotten moments, building his case with meticulous care, fueled by years of resentment and spite. But then Jesus stands, his presence radiating compassion and power. He shows his hands, his scarred wrists, his wounded side, the eternal testament to his sacrifice. And every accusing voice goes silent, silenced by the overwhelming power of his love. Then Michael enters, his presence commanding attention, carrying the scroll bearing your name, sealed with the authority of heaven. He shouts, with a voice that shakes the very foundations of the cosmos, Time's up. The case is closed. The blessing is released. The gavel drops. The chains fall away, shattering into dust. The doors swing wide, inviting you into a future filled with hope and promise. What was delayed for years is suddenly accelerated, propelled forward by the momentum of divine favor. That is why this moment feels like thunder in your chest, like a lightning strike of realization, because heaven has ruled in your favor, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can reverse the verdict. And now I must tell you what comes next. Acceleration. Things that were stuck for years will move in days, propelled forward by the winds of grace. Prayers that once felt unanswered will break open, blossoming into miracles. Opportunities you grieved as lost will find their way back to you, revitalized and renewed. Relationships long buried will start to breathe again, rekindled by the warmth of divine connection. Financial burdens that felt permanent will begin to shatter, their powerlessness exposed by the light of hope. Healing you never thought possible will begin to manifest, seeping into your wounds, mending what was broken, making you whole again. But all of it, every inch of it, every breath of life, starts with your yes, your unwavering commitment. Not a casual yes, spoken lightly and without conviction, but a full, surrendered, I will not walk away, kind of yes, a declaration of faith that shakes the heavens. Michael is declaring, with unwavering conviction, the river is flowing. Step in now. Do not hesitate. Embrace the abundance that awaits you. Hear this truth, beloved, a truth the enemy has fought hardest to hide, a secret that holds the key to your destiny. You are not just called to receive, to bask in the glow of blessing. You are called to carry, to become a vessel of grace, an instrument of healing. The pain you survived, the trials you endured, were not wasted, meaningless suffering. They were shaping you, molding you, preparing you to be a vessel of compassion, a beacon of hope for a world in need. That is why people come to you, even when you feel empty, drawn to the wellspring of strength that resides within you. That is why burdens find your shoulders, why you are often called upon to offer comfort and support. It is not punishment, not a cruel twist of fate. It is purpose, the unfolding of your divine destiny. You are being made into someone who won't just walk into blessing, but someone who will usher others into theirs, someone who will guide them towards the light. The blessing that is coming is not just for you. It will overflow through you, touching countless lives. Everyone connected to your name, your family, your friends, your children, your future generations, will feel the ripple of heaven's grace because you stayed, because you chose to believe, because you refused to give up. And let me show you the heart of God, the boundless love that fuels his every action. When Michael warns, stop, do not go that way, turn back now, it is not to control you, to restrict your freedom. It is to rescue you, to protect you from harm. Imagine a child sprinting towards a cliff, oblivious to the danger that awaits. A loving parent doesn't whisper a gentle suggestion. They shout, with all the force of their love, "Stop!" Not to scare the child, but to save them from certain disaster. That is what this is, beloved. God saw how close you were to quitting, to settling for less than you deserve, to missing the gate He had opened for you, the path He had prepared. And so, in His infinite love and disguised as urgency, He commands, "Don't miss this. Don't lose me. Don't walk away from what I have prepared for you." And if you feel shaken, if your foundations tremble, it is because heaven is shaking loose everything that once held you captive, shattering the chains that bound you to the past. And beloved, don't wait for restoration. Don't delay your joy in anticipation of healing. It is already happening, unfolding in this very moment. Even now, even as you listen, things are shifting around you, realigning according to divine will. People who overlooked you are remembering you, recognizing your value, seeing your potential. Situations that felt immovable, as solid as mountains, are bending to divine will, yielding to the power of grace. Doors that stayed locked for years are starting to creak open, hinting at the possibilities that lie beyond. Your mind may not see it yet, may struggle to grasp the magnitude of what is unfolding, but your heart knows, resonating with the truth that is being spoken. That racing pulse, that fire in your belly, that quickening in your spirit, it has already begun. Michael says, "Tell them the miracle is not coming. It is here now. What you feared was dead is alive again, resurrected by the power of God. What you thought was over is being rewritten, its ending transformed by divine intervention. What you believed was too far gone is walking back toward you, with heaven's hand on its back, guided by the light of hope. And that is why, beloved, this moment burns so fiercely in your soul, why your spirit is stirring with such intensity, because heaven's current is flowing, and you are finally stepping into the center of it, surrendering to the power of your destiny. Not everyone will applaud when the chains fall off you, when you finally break free from the shackles of the past. Not everyone will dance when your prison doors swing open, when you step into the sunlight of freedom. And that, beloved, is part of the journey, a reality you must embrace with grace and wisdom. There are some standing near you who are not standing for you, whose presence is a hindrance rather than a help. And heaven, in its infinite mercy, is not only delivering you into promise, into a future overflowing with blessing. It is delivering you from deception, shielding you from those who would seek to steal your joy and derail your destiny. That is why Michael now stands sword drawn, his purpose unwavering, not just to fight demons and vanquish darkness, but to divide truth from falsehood, to separate the authentic from the counterfeit. The voices in your life that sound like counsel but carry poison, the relationships that seem comforting but ultimately slow your stride, those attachments will be cut away, severed by the sword of truth. This season is about clarity, not comfort, about discerning the path ahead, not clinging to the familiar. God says, "Do not confuse noise with wisdom, the clamor of opinions with the still, small voice of truth. Do not confuse closeness with loyalty, the mere proximity of bodies with the unwavering commitment of the heart. He will show you who is truly for you, who celebrates your victories and weeps with you in your sorrows, who stands beside you through thick and thin. And yes, some of that revealing will sting, will feel like a loss, a severing of ties. But what feels like loss is actually protection, a divine intervention to safeguard your heart and your future. Heaven loves you too much to let unclean hands carry your crown, to allow those with impure motives to guide you down the wrong path. Now pause, beloved. Breathe deep. Can you feel it? That pressure lifting off your chest, the weight of the world dissolving from your shoulders, that faint peace rising like mist in the morning, a gentle serenity washing over your soul? That is no accident, no fleeting moment of calm. That is divine exchange, the tangible manifestation of grace. God is trading your weariness for strength, your confusion for direction, your fear for courage, your sorrow for joy. For too long, you have carried yourself on scraps of hope, barely surviving, clinging to the edges of despair. But now, heaven is placing within you a different kind of strength, a supernatural endurance that doesn't just survive, but overcomes, that doesn't just endure, but triumphs. The countdown is real, the moment of transformation is at hand, because this is your turning point, the defining moment that will reshape your destiny. The time for crawling is over. You are stepping into divine momentum, propelled forward by the force of grace. You are crossing into abundance, entering a realm of limitless possibilities. You are no longer just recovering from the wounds of the past. You are rising into the fullness of your potential. Look back for a moment, just long enough to recognize the hand of God in places you once thought were barren, to see His fingerprints in the midst of your pain. Can you see it now? Even the moments that broke you, that shattered your illusions, had hidden purpose, were part of a grander design. The betrayal taught you how to hear what wasn't said, to discern the unspoken intentions of the heart. The isolation taught you how to hear the voice of God in the silence, to find solace in His unwavering presence. The failure carved humility into your foundation, preventing future favor from making you proud, from leading you astray. Nothing was wasted. Not a single drop of pain went unused. Not a single tear fell in vain. Michael whispers, his voice a soothing balm to your wounded spirit. Even now, tell them the scars are crowns, testaments to their resilience and strength. The ashes are altars, sacred places where they encountered the divine. And the tears, they are treasures stored in heaven's vault, waiting to be redeemed for glory. And this is why the enemy worked overtime to chain you to regret, to bind you to the ghosts of the past. Because if you ever realized your wounds were working for you, if you ever embraced the power of your scars, you would rise unshakable, a force to be reckoned with. And now it's happening. The dawn is breaking. The scales are falling from your eyes. You're beginning to trace the thread of heaven woven through the chaos, to see the divine hand guiding you through the storm. And in that instant of recognition, your story shifts, your perspective transforms. What once felt like tragedy becomes testimony, a powerful narrative of redemption and hope. Now I see a door in the spirit, standing tall and ancient, glowing with symbols you can't quite read, hieroglyphs of heaven etched into its surface. But your spirit recognizes the light, resonates with the divine energy that emanates from it. And Michael stands at your side, his hand resting on the handle, his voice like thunder wrapped in grace, echoing through the corridors of eternity. This is the door your ancestors longed for, the portal to their wildest dreams. This is the door your prayers built, brick by brick, with faith and perseverance. This is the door your tears unlocked, washing away the barriers that stood in your way. Step in, beloved. Your time has come. And God Himself says, with a voice that transcends all understanding, do not fear, my child. The door is yours. I have prepared a place for you, a future overflowing with joy and abundance. When you cross this threshold, beloved, everything behind you loses its grip, its power over you. Chains drop without a fight, their hold broken by the force of divine grace. Darkness dissolves without a struggle, its shadows banished by the light of hope. And the story you lived until now, the narrative of pain and struggle, will no longer define the one you are about to live, the epic tale of redemption and triumph. This is your moment of becoming, your opportunity to embrace your true potential. And I must say it again, because it is a truth that cannot be overstated. Time is being redeemed for you. What you thought was lost to delay, stolen by circumstances, God is restoring with acceleration, compressing years into moments. I will repay you for the years the locusts have eaten, declares the Lord, for the wasted seasons, for the stolen dreams. Joel 2 verse 25. Heaven doesn't honor the timelines of man, the limitations imposed by earthly constraints. God bends time, He multiplies it. He stretches it for His beloved, lavishing them with blessings beyond measure. What you thought would take a lifetime to achieve will begin to unfold in days, accelerated by the power of grace. Michael says with unwavering assurance, tell them they have not lost time. Time is bowing to them now, yielding to their destiny, aligning with their purpose. But that is why the urgency is so great, why every moment feels charged with such significance. When heaven moves like this, when the divine orchestrates such a dramatic shift, hesitation is costly, a missed opportunity that can delay your progress. Every second right now is a seed, a potential miracle waiting to be planted. And your decision to anchor your spirit here, to remain present and engaged, with your heart open and your spirit alert, is a declaration that you're ready, a resounding affirmation that you are willing to receive all that heaven has to offer. That is why this moment feels like it's breathing, alive with possibility. Because heaven's clock is ticking for you, marking the beginning of your new season. And hear this, beloved, with unwavering faith. God is not only saving you from what hurt you, from the external forces that sought to destroy you. He's saving you from your own self-doubt, from the insidious voices that echo old lies, from the internal saboteur that seeks to undermine your success. You're not enough, whispers the enemy. You're too broken, too damaged to be truly loved. It's too late, you've missed your chance. But now Michael lifts his sword, not just against demonic forces, but against the lies embedded in your mind, the negative self-talk that has kept you trapped for so long. The voice that keeps saying you're small, insignificant, and unworthy is being silenced, its power stripped away by the truth of God's love. The fear that's kept you shrinking, that has prevented you from stepping into your potential, is being cut down, its roots severed by the sword of faith. Michael declares with unwavering authority, "This child will no longer wear shame. This child will walk in truth. This child will embrace their destiny." And even now, as these words reach your ears, something is shifting deep within you. A quiet miracle unfolding. Not outside you, in the external world, but within you, in the sacred chambers of your heart. You are starting to see yourself through heaven's lens, not as forgotten but as favored, not as flawed but as forged, not as overlooked but as ordained. That shift in perspective, that transformation of self-perception, is the true miracle, the catalyst for all the blessings that are about to unfold. Because when you finally believe what heaven always knew about you, when you embrace the truth of your inherent worth and potential, everything else must bow to that belief, aligning with the divine blueprint for your life. And now, beloved, do you understand why your fingers hum with divine recognition? Why your spirit is stirring with such anticipation? Why your mind wants to catch up to what your heart already knows? It's because this word is not just inspiration, not just a fleeting moment of encouragement. It's confirmation, a resounding echo of the truth that has always resided within you. For years you've cried, "Lord, did you hear me? Did you see my pain? Have you forgotten about me?" For years you've wondered, was it all for nothing? Did my sacrifices go unnoticed? Will I ever see the fulfillment of my dreams? And now heaven answers with fire, with a passion that ignites your soul. Yes, I heard. Yes, I saw. Yes, I am moving. I have never forgotten you, and I will never forsake you. You don't need to feel ready, fully equipped and prepared for the journey ahead. God is not asking for perfection. He's not demanding flawlessness. He's asking for permission, for your willingness to surrender to His plan, to trust in His guidance. Your willingness to stay in this moment, to remain open to the possibilities that are unfolding, is your agreement with the divine, your affirmation of faith. And that agreement is powerful enough to split oceans, to move mountains, to rewrite the destiny of nations. Can you sense it now? That peace rising beneath the noise, that weight lifting off your shoulders, that warmth pressing into your chest like hands from another realm, a gentle embrace from the divine? That's not emotion, not just a fleeting feeling. That's encounter, a tangible connection with the living God. The Spirit of God is near, leaning close, whispering into your heart. You are mine. You are ready now. Cross into the next glory. Embrace your destiny. Beloved, everything has led to this moment. Every triumph and every tragedy. Every prayer whispered in the darkness. Every tear shed in silence. Not just the pain, not just the prayers, but the purpose that was buried beneath it all. The seed of destiny waiting to sprout. This message isn't giving you something new, isn't bestowing upon you a gift you didn't already possess. It's unlocking what has been waiting inside you since before you were born, releasing the potential that has been dormant for too long. That trembling in your hands, that fire rising in your chest, that tear resting on the edge of your eye, it's the sound of your spirit remembering, the echo of your true identity. Remembering the throne heaven wrote your name on, the seat of authority that awaits you. Remembering the authority you were always meant to carry, the power to heal, to inspire, to transform. Remembering the reason you survived what should have killed you, the divine purpose that fuels your existence. Michael extends his sword in silence, a gesture of invitation and empowerment. Not just with a sword, but with a declaration, a resounding affirmation that echoes through the heavens. Your survival testifies to God's hand upon your life, to his unwavering protection and boundless love. Your very breath is proof that the enemy failed, that his attempts to destroy you were thwarted by the power of grace. And now what heaven placed within you is no longer dormant, no longer a seed hidden in the earth. It is sprouting, growing, reaching for the light, ready to blossom into its full potential. Your breakthrough won't come falling from the sky, a gift delivered without effort. It will rise from within, fueled by your faith, nurtured by your perseverance, empowered by the Spirit of God. That's why the atmosphere feels holy, charged with divine energy. That's why your heart is pounding, resonating with the rhythm of heaven. Because heaven is handing you back your story, not in pieces, fragmented and broken, but in purpose, whole and complete. So, how do you live from here? How do you embrace this new reality and walk in the fullness of your potential? Start by walking like the miracle already happened, carrying yourself with confidence and grace, radiating the joy of your anticipated victory. Speak with the boldness of someone who's already been delivered, declaring your freedom with unwavering faith. Make room in your home for peace, not panic. Create a sanctuary of serenity where the Spirit of God can dwell. Each morning, anoint your thoughts before the noise invades, filling your mind with scripture and prayer. Walk through your house and declare with unwavering conviction, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." Joshua 24 verse 15. Break agreements with fear, severing the ties that bind you to anxiety and doubt. Bless your hands before you work and say, "These hands will build what hell tried to destroy. They will create beauty from ashes." Forgive who needs to be forgiven, not for them, but for yourself, so the chains of bitterness don't follow you into your future, poisoning your joy and hindering your progress. If your environment stirs confusion, if the atmosphere feels heavy and oppressive, shift it. Create a space that reflects the peace and joy that resides within you. Play worship music in the background as you clean, filling your home with the sounds of heaven. Whisper scripture as you walk, meditating on the promises of God. Let the presence of God mark your space, transforming it into a sanctuary of hope. And don't just wait for the miracle to arrive. Prepare for it, anticipating its arrival with joyful expectation. Clean the room where healing will live, making space for wholeness and well-being. Clear the schedule for the blessing that's coming, creating time and space for its manifestation. Live like the breakthrough has already been delivered to your doorstep because in the Spirit it has. Beloved, this isn't just the end of a message, the closing of a chapter. It's the beginning of your next chapter, the dawn of a new era. You are not returning to who you were before this moment, to the limitations and insecurities that once defined you. You are rising into who you were always called to be, the person God created you to be, the vessel of grace He intended you to become. So stand up, beloved, lift your head high, square your shoulders, and step forward, not as someone hoping for change, but as someone carrying the change, as a vessel of transformation, an agent of hope. The throne is waiting, the angels are watching, and heaven is roaring with one voice, celebrating your victory. Now, chosen one, rule. Step into your destiny. Embrace your power. Before we close, beloved, I want to lead you in a prayer, not just a recitation of words, but a holy exchange between your heart and the throne of heaven, a communion with the divine. Let this prayer be your yes, your affirmation of faith. Let it be your act of surrender, your willingness to yield to God's plan. Let it open the door to your destiny, unlocking the blessings that await you. Holy Father, Eternal King, the one who sits enthroned above the circle of the earth, we come to you now with trembling hearts and open hands, humbled by your grace, yet emboldened by your love. For you have summoned us into this divine moment, inviting us into your presence. You have parted the veil, not just to speak to us, but to awaken us, to ignite the fire within us. And now here we are, Lord, no longer running from our destiny, no longer doubting our potential, no longer delaying our obedience. Lord, we confess that for too long we have walked in circles of delay, trapped in cycles of fear, bound by the whispers of the enemy, numbed by disappointment. We have said later, postponing our dreams, delaying our obedience. We have said maybe, hedging our bets, clinging to doubt. We have doubted the urgency, failing to recognize the significance of this moment. But now, Father, we recognize the sound, the rumble of destiny, the echo of eternity. This is a prophetic unveiling, a revelation of your plan for our lives. This is the thunder of destiny roaring in our ears, shaking us from our slumber. This is the hour that was prophesied, the moment we have been waiting for. And so we say yes, with our hearts, with our focus, with our complete surrender. We say yes to your plan, whatever it may be. We say yes to your presence, the comfort and guidance we crave. We say yes to your purpose, the fulfillment of our destiny. We break every agreement with shame, every lie we have believed about ourselves. We silence every voice that says we're too late, too broken, too far gone. We reject distraction, refusing to be swayed by the temptations of the world. We rebuke delay, casting off the spirit of procrastination. We renounce the spirit of fear, embracing courage and faith. And we receive the spirit of adoption, the assurance that we are your beloved children, heirs to your kingdom. We are yours, Abba, and you are ours, forever and always. Now, O God, open the scroll, reveal the secrets hidden within. Let what has been sealed for years now be revealed, unlocking the blessings that await us. Let the assignments marked by our name be released into the earth, empowering us to fulfill our purpose. Let the chains break without resistance, shattering the limitations that have held us captive. Let the oil of heaven pour, anointing us for service and empowering us to transform the world. Let the angels move at your command, orchestrating miracles on our behalf. Let heaven's corridor of purpose stretch open before us, guiding us towards our destiny. No more hesitation, no more running, no more hiding. We declare that this is our moment of resurrection, our time to rise from the ashes. This is our hour of release, our opportunity to break free from the past. This is our divine awakening, our chance to embrace our true potential. And now, God of redemption, redeem the time, restore what was lost, accelerate what was delayed, water what was planted, and awaken what was asleep. We receive our garment of praise, a symbol of joy and victory. We embrace the divine commission marked for our lives, accepting our responsibility to serve your kingdom. We receive the crown forged in fire, a testament to our resilience and strength. This is not the end. This is only the beginning. We say amen, not with weak hope, but with warrior faith, knowing that you are with us always, guiding us, protecting us, and empowering us to overcome every obstacle. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Thank you for staying to the end, beloved. If you felt the shift in the atmosphere, if your spirit burned with every word, if you felt heaven lean close, then this message was for you, tailored to your specific needs, designed to ignite your soul. Share your amen in the comments, letting your voice echo back to heaven as a sign of alignment, a declaration of your faith. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel so you never miss a moment of divine timing, so you remain connected to the stream of grace that is flowing into your life. Don't let this be where it ends. Let it be where everything begins, the launch pad for your destiny, the catalyst for your transformation. Your scroll is open, revealing the secrets of your potential. The door is waiting, inviting you into a future filled with hope and abundance. Now, chosen one, rule. Embrace your destiny.